What up, this is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of The Irishman. Hey, before you watch this review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you would like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this. Yes! Thank you, Martin Scorsese, for giving us another mafia movie! And thank you for coming back to this world again. This is, after all, the lane that you, sir, have mastered for years. Because let's face it, folks, Scorsese's previous film in 2016, that feudal Japan movie Silence starring Andrew Garfield, was absolutely dreadful. God, I hated that one. Ugh. So luckily, The Irishman revitalizes all that we love about Scorsese as a filmmaker, because this is Scorsese returning to form, or coming back to do what he does best, where the characters break the fourth wall and the violence shocks you to your core, and of course with some of Hollywood's legendary heavyweights. This whole thing is like a cocktail of cinematic excellence. The Irishman stars two-time Oscar-winning actor Robert De Niro as World War II veteran Frank Sheeran, a hustler and hitman who worked alongside some of the most notorious figures of the 20th century. The story starts out in post-war America and spans decades as it chronicles one of this country's greatest unsolved mysteries involving the disappearance of Union boss Jimmy Hoffa, played by fellow Oscar winner Al Pacino. If you think about it, The Irishman and Goodfellas are very similar. Both stories are straightforward and it spans across many years. And in this movie, Joe Pesci mentors Robert De Niro here, the same way that Robert De Niro mentored Ray Liotta in Goodfellas. And of course, both movies take us through the hidden corridors of organized crime, the rivalries, the retaliations, the power struggle. So the only difference is that The Irishman gives us a glimpse of the other unspoken reality, which is mafia's influence in labor union and our politics/government. By the way, those of us who are old enough would remember the 1992 movie Hoffa, starring Jack Nicholson and directed by Danny DeVito. And that movie gave us one theory about Hoffa's mysterious disappearance. And this movie, The Irishman, gives us another. So, which one is plausible? That's up to you to decide. I bet you, though, that the most talked about aspect about The Irishman would be the digital visual effects that makes Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Joe Pesci look years younger and without wrinkles. I'm gonna keep it real here. On some parts, the de-aging on them looks convincing, but on other parts, like when Robert De Niro was a young soldier, that close-up makes his face look creepy, like video game characters from mid-2000s. I don't know why Scorsese couldn't have just cast an actor who looks like young Bobby De Niro and shot that scene from a distance. My point is, even though it worked on Marvel movies, it doesn't mean that it always works on everything else. Perhaps we need to give it a few more years until the technology polishes itself. Okay, the 3.5 hours runtime does get a bit problematic, especially once the story has clearly reached the point where it's all just about Frank Sheeran spending his final days in the nursing home. It still goes on and on and on, which is not good because it runs the risk of ending on a mundane, anticlimactic note. But everything else? Count me in all the way. Steve Zalian's script is full of amusing anecdotes and countless memorable lines. And DP Rodrigo Prieto, who has collaborated with Scorsese before, provides an unafraid and vibrant cinematography that allows you to soak it in, all of it, including the movie's most tense and violent moments. And last but not least, obviously, when you have some of this industry's most amazing actors together in one movie, what you get is a masterclass in acting. Especially the big three, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci, all of whom managed to say a lot with their faces, even when they don't utter a single word. Scorsese is back and on top of his game. The Irishman is yet another monumental achievement by one of the greatest storytellers of all time.